this is my review of Lizzie J Klotz Fawn. I've just come back from the theatre now. I really loved it. I am familiar with Lizzie's work, so I did slightly know what I was expecting, but even then I was really impressed and I absolutely loved it. I'm going to start with the first piece, which is called To Suit, which I have actually seen a section of before. It was on in Tyneside Cinema before I went to see La La Land, which is really impressive. The dancers in this one are Alice, I need to find her last name, Alice North and Charlie Durnley. And I have seen both of these guys perform before, and I can really see why Lizzie works with them. They have a very similar quality of dance, which is quite soft and malleable, but really, really beautiful and lovely to watch. Of course, it can be strong at times, but generally in the fingers, in the extremities, it's quite soft and lovely, which I really, really enjoy about that. The actual piece To Suit is a kind of exploration into courting rituals and at times gender. For me, gender seemed like a really strong part of the piece. There's a lot of clothing involved and getting ready, and kind of for me, a lot of that seems like the preparation of coming together with someone, like going on a date maybe or something like that. So the piece is not all dancing all the time. There's some voice, vocal and kind of spoken word within the piece, but it's kind of the dance that is in there and the dance that happens. You're really excited to see when it happens, because when it does happen, it's absolutely beautiful and fits perfectly. There's also a really cool section, which is probably my favourite section, where the guys have a kind of face-off of weird faces and noises, which I absolutely loved and was really chuckling at and had to hold my witch cackle in. And I love that. And Charlie and Alice were just wonderful. They embodied the whole piece and didn't hold anything back, which I absolutely loved. Moving on to the second piece, which was a piece on film. It's called Dancing with My Dad, and it basically does what it says on the tin. It's an exploration into Lizzie joining forces with her dad to make a piece. However, it's not all a formal dance piece on film. There is old footage of Lizzie dancing with her dad in the past as a young adult and as a child. There's also some footage of the rehearsal period and how her and her dad came together to form this relationship, this new relationship as adults, to create the piece. So there's kind of two worlds there. There's the formal world where they do actually perform on a stage or on location. There's also this informal kind of world where it's rehearsal and looking at their former relationship. So it's all, the whole piece seems to be like creating a new language between her and her father, and bringing him into her space and kind of reversing the roles of her teaching him things and her controlling situations, and him being new and naive to certain techniques or dance in general. And what's great is in the after show conversation that the audience had with the cast and Lizzie herself is that her dad has continued dancing and he's doing a contemporary dance piece as a community within a community venture, which is absolutely fantastic. Also, there's an amazing piece which feels a bit like Rocky. So the guys are backstage, Lizzie and David, which is her father, are backstage kind of getting ready, walking, are being filmed walking behind the scenes in Dance City as if they're about to come on stage. But then they don't. And I was so expecting them to come on stage. So Lizzie, if you watch this, please make that happen. That would make my day. A lady mentioned that in the talk, and I'm with her on this one. Please make that happen. That would be amazing. I just thought it was really touching. The movement was beautiful, but and really nice, and there's lots of lovely balances, and it was kind of a lot of weight taking and kind of exploration into that, into finding a language between her and her dad. So that's what the movement was based around and very much portrayed. So the final piece was Fawn, which was the piece, I'm not going to lie, was that I was most looking forward to watching. And it didn't disappoint. I really loved it. So Lizzie worked closely with Rosa Postlethwaite with this one, and I recently, I don't know if you read it, but I reviewed one of Rosa's works for Gift Festival, and I can really see Rosa's maybe input a little bit in this, but that's maybe just because I've just seen a piece of her work. So this piece is an exploration into the act of pleasing as an instinctive response to fear, threat and failure. There's a fantastic beginning section which is kind of spoken word, played through the speakers, which is about a guy kind of catcalling, which starts the whole thing off, and then the song Why Do Birds Suddenly Appear, which is really, really great, and it kind of enters us into this this world of trying to please people, but at the same time other people trying to please you, and you being totally disgusted, or you know that situation isn't pleasing at all. So it's that kind of relationship between trying to please and then not being pleased. Does that make any sense? I don't know. This piece kind of gives off the impression of the relationship between pleasing other people, pleasing yourself, and then pleasing an audience. And it's got some great music, some great words, and particularly a bit I liked where Lizzie walks around the stage with a microphone, and it is saying what fawn actually means. So kind of from a dictionary definition, which was really, really fun. And she has a fantastic headdress on as well, that I absolutely loved. What I love about this piece as well is Lizzie's movement. Again, it's soft and malleable, but at the times it needs to be really strong. It really is, and it's really beautiful. So the final thing about Fawn as well, which I loved, and that kind of spreads throughout to suit as well, was the use of light, and it was really well thought out and really well used, and I enjoyed that immensely. Also, the spoken word was fantastic. I definitely want to see more of Fawn, and also to suit, Lizzie says that maybe she's retiring that, but I really don't want her to. I think it should carry on, and I would love to see these three works toured perhaps. Okay, I'm gonna go now. So that's my review. If you really like what you see, please subscribe to us, or you can go onto our website and join our mailing list too. That would be great. See you very soon. Bye.